So, okay, so what we're doing now is we're gonna show the setup for a if you're using the longsword for Elden Ring hitless runs. I'm gonna show the longsword. This would really work with any sort of smithing weapon apart from actually going and getting it. And also we're gonna be picking up a couple of other things that we might not normally pick up for another type of weapon only hitless run or any sort of other hitless run. So I'm going to be kind of talking through what we're grabbing, why we're grabbing it, and we're going to go from there. So for this, I usually start as the vagabond class because it starts with the longsword. So this is for prof, so we're gonna do that. I start with the Lands Between rune because we got to buy quite a bit of things right at the beginning of the game. And let's go with our trusty guy here. So yeah, the first hour of any of these hitless runs is usually about pretty much set up, especially for this weapon, because we have to go grab quite a few different things in order to make the build work to its best ability. Hey, Witty. So you got to grab this, and then as the door's opening, I kind of take off all the armor. Don't need it for hitless run, as well as the rune. So for hitless runs in Elden Ring, the first boss here is the Grafted Scion. But for hitless runs, you can either fight him and defeat him without getting hit, or you can just jump off the edge. So for a first time runner, I would just suggest just go ahead and just jump off the edge. Grafted Scion is a very fun boss to learn how to fight. Eventually, I do actually like fighting him, especially with the longsword, because of square off and this kind of stagger that you can get on him during the run. So you enter in, you get your healing flask and your FP flask. I keep my healing flask on top right pouch, and then Memory of Grace, which allows us to consume all of our runes and reappear at the last grace that we sat at. So that's for emergencies. And while this is going up, just pop this rune, as we're going to need it. And then I'd like to just put the blue on the bottom left there. Now. So the first area that we're entering into is Limgrave. So the first part of this is running up to get Torrent, our trusty steed that I totally love and don't blame for a lot of my fall deaths. You can kind of just go through this area. Be mindful of the tree sentinel there, because if you get too close, he will see you, and he'll like he's pretty quick, and without a horse, we're not very fast. But you can see he's turned around now. Actually, he did see us a little bit there. Then we grab the rune there. Then we do this. Hey, Witty, this is for Prof. He was wanting one, but I was just going to make it for somebody else. So for kind of anybody who set up this. So right here on the smithing table, there is a smithing one, so you can go ahead and grab it because it's free.
And I can also let you know then why I am Kale.
So then we talk to Kale here. I just sell that rune that we just picked up just for a little bit of extra. So we want to buy all 3 cracked pots, the crafting kit, this Missionary's Cookbook 1, and how do I... So this allows us to make holy water pots, which will be useful later. We'll grab that, and then I grab like 10 arrows.
Goodbye.
Plenty there.
Night.
And then you can either run out the front, or I just kind of parkour up here. So we'll use the arrows through Fort Height, and I don't know if we'll use them in many other spots. This will probably be like a continuation, and I'll just kind of go through the entire run at some point. So we will probably use it because we probably won't do bird skip. So if you L2 and R1, oh sorry, if you L2 and R2, you'll do a heavy square off there. And I'll talk a little bit about the move set of the sword there. But why we kill that guy is just to be safe, and he's guarding 4 kukris there. And kukris are our distraction item. So I usually keep these on my belt at all times because we will use them quite a bit. We come here at gate front, and this is where we're going to get Torrent. So we got to talk to Melina. Melina offers us a Honda Accord, and then, like any good car salesman, gives us a horse and gives us not quite what we asked for, a horse instead. So and then you can make it daytime. I think how I did this even on my run the other day, I made it daytime by accident here, but it worked out well for later on when we need it to be daytime. I put Torrent as my right pouch. And now we are off to pick up some more stuff. It's the best you can expect from a picture of it. Yes. So right here, there's some mushrooms. As you see mushrooms throughout the setup, just go ahead and grab them. We use them for a lot of different stuff. We use them for mostly the pots though, but you can also use them on greases. There's a golden seed one there. We want to grab that. And then we hang a right and grab 3 smithing ones right there. If you run up this way, there are some more mushrooms. There is a stone sword key here. We won't normally use it on this run, but if you needed it for something you might want to pick up later, there's a free one right there. We grab this grace, and then we head off in this direction towards the troll. We're gonna run right past the troll. Troll can't do anything. He just kind of, you can like run through his legs even, but I just run right behind him. Doesn't really matter. Oh, he's turned around a little quickly there. We're going to go right up here. This is our strength knot crystal tier, and then go here, jump down on this one, and then off to the right. And we're going down to War Master's Shack, and that's where Bernal is, who we will be hanging out with later. So grab the grace. We don't need to talk to him yet. We don't have the runes really to buy what we need from him before we kill him later. Then we head up this way. The reason we head up this way is that this mounted knight up here drops Golden Vow, which is one of the 2 buffs that we'll use on this run. If you go up here, I kind of crouch here until he kind of passes right by, and then go up. And then we do 2 square offs to him. Oops, I messed this up already. I've been messing this up a lot lately. Ouch. So, hold on. We're gonna go back to the grace, and I'll try to show the proper way to do it. Been having trouble with him lately. Even on the last Hitless run I did. But we'll just go back here and we'll reset the area, because it's usually 2 square offs are enough to break the stance and knock him off the horse. So let's try it again there. Hey, Hack Hunter. Oh, we've been getting some runs here, Hack Hunter. Hope you've been doing well while you've been away. We're doing a little bit of a how-to guide of setting up a hitless run with the longsword here. So go here, you crouch, kind of run around. Maybe I've been waiting a little bit too long here. If you stay crouched, he won't see you until the very end. And then you do one, you do another, and then he's down. So yeah, I guess you just crouch and walk up all the way. Ooh, we got partisan that time. All right, now we got Golden Vow, so that's good. Hey, McFeds. And after an Ash of War, you can animation cancel by crouching. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, block canceling as well. So then we drop down there. Make sure to not drop down too early or else you can die from fall damage. Yeah, we're going to ignore Alexander for now. We don't need him till later anyway. We'll grab this Grace for later. Won't be in this video, but it would be in the next one. If we did like Stormveil. Watch out for this guy. Make sure to give him a wide berth because the head slam has an AoE to it. Right here, there are 2 more smithing ones you want to pick up. And then we're going to talk to this guy. So he has another cracked pot that we're gonna get for this run. And he also has smithing ones. If you have enough, you can buy all 3. You don't need to buy them here. There's a couple other merchants that we're gonna go to that have smithing ones, but we have the runes right now, so we can just use it. And then we are off. You can also buy that short sword to use it as one of our other like utility weapons later, but we can buy another one later. So you either can buy the short sword for 600 or 600 for the 3 smithing ones. So there's 3 Trina's lilies there and mushroom as you go around that way. If you come down here, you drop off right at this position, and then again over here, and you won't die from fall damage. So the Trina's lilies are some of the best items in this game because they allow us to craft sleep pots. You come down to this graveyard, you can grab all the runes here. And then this guy right here sells the cookbook to craft the sleep pots. So make sure you pick that up because that is one of the best items in the game, if not probably the most useful consumable that we use in this game, or at least on this run. And we're going to run down to Third Church here. Mosquitoes will aggro. It's kind of annoying. And just going to jump in here. Right here is a sacred tier that will increase the amount that the effectiveness of your flask. And then we pick up the flask of Wanderous Physic. And that is another thing that is very helpful on this run. So grab the Grace. I usually put my flask on this one. And now we are going to Caelid / Round Table. So we're not going to... How we're going to get our runes for the run is we are going to cheese DTS, and I'll show you how to do that kind of at the end. Instead of killing the Dragon Barrow Knights Cavalry, which is another way. If you want more runes, we can get probably about... We could easily get probably around 200,000 right at the start of the run if you wanted to. It's not really necessary. We will have plenty of levels by the end of this run, and we will do a ton of damage. So from here, we're going up here. We're going to sit at Rot View balcony here and go to Round Table and buy a bunch of stuff. We talk to Melina again.
To determine if you had, it seems torrent, whereas I'm in. There is, but I can take gathering. Very let my hand.
So you only can take Melina's hand once you leave Limgrave or you defeat Margit. So we do it early. Now we need some runes, so we picked up some. So I usually just pop that one, the 3 biggest ones that we have. We need around 4,000. So we're a little over 4,000 there. So these are our vendors where we can buy some extra stuff. So we're going to buy the dagger for Golden Vow. We're going to buy the rapier for Assassin's Gambit. And then we're going to buy the scimitar for Bloody Slash, as well as the longbow. And after that, then we go back to Rodview. And now we're going to make our way up to the isolated merchant in Dragon Barrow. So if you kind of hug this cliff face, you shouldn't be in danger of anything. We kind of just run up. We're heading up to that shack up there on the left that you can kind of see. There are quite a few enemies, but this line is completely safe. Just don't try not to go too far left or right to avoid that. And then we're just going to aim for this ravine up here and jump across the ravine on the rocks here. And we're going to grab this Grace right here because we're going to port back to it after we talk to the merchant. There is something that aggroes here. I think there's something up there. It's never been really a threat though. You'll see my stamina bar was going down there. So this is kind of the line that I take. You want to kind of just go right of this mound and then over this one. Why you want to be semi-precise here is that there's one Tyrannosaurus dog there, there's another one there, and there's one more there. And you kind of want to keep your eye out for all three because they will follow you up here and end your run pretty quickly. So we have actually a perfect amount of runes here, just about. So this guy sells the Beast Repellent Torch, and this is a very helpful item that we'll use quite a bit on this run. And what it does is, as long as you have it equipped, you can even have it on your back. But enemies like rats, like the lesser bears, the dogs, they will not attack you while you have it out. It also has the added advantage of producing light when we're in some of these caves. So now that we have it, we port back to Dragon Barrow West. And now we're going to head up to Fort Baroth. This is kind of a new way that I've been going since doing the RO1 runs because I didn't pick up... for the leveled runs, I wasn't picking up Rodview Balcony for the reason of why we're going to go back there later is to pick up our other buff that we'll use for this run that we weren't using on my leveled run because we were going straight for the two biggest buffs that you can get on a leveled run. But for our purposes here, for an any percent, I wouldn't bother with getting those two anymore. Yeah, maybe, but that kind of adds a lot of complexity a little bit more complexity to the run. And so we're just going to do the Golden Vow, Ash of War, and Flame Grant Me Strength rather than the Golden Vow, Incant, and Howl of Shabiri. So we sit here, touch the Grace. I think you probably know that a lot of people kill this dragon in order to get a bunch of runes at the beginning of the game. You can even do it with the longsword by putting a Bleed Ash of War on it. But it's not really that necessary. So I equip the Beast Torch here. What you do is you come to this pillar here, and you jump, and I like to do two with the longsword. And you come up here, you crouch. As you enter here, you kind of follow this line to avoid that bat, and you come around here, and you'll see because we clink the wall, those guys go and look at it. And the one did turn around and see me there, but usually it's okay. You can put the clothes on, you're right, Witty. But usually if you take that line, there shouldn't be as much of a problem. As you can see, we didn't even get any proc. We open up this chest. This has our Deck Disc medallion, the one half of it. So we're gonna use that to get to Altus. Now we're gonna go down and grab our um, Radagon Sword Seal. So go down here, jump down. You see we have the torch out, so these rats kind of avoid us. There's a rune, golden rune 12 there, which is really nice to grab. As long as you have the torch out, you see these guys won't mess with you. Go over here, grab this, and then crouch down and wait for the de-aggro to happen. And now we're going to go back to Third Church America and head down to Fort Height. Okay, so let's equip our bow now. And the other thing we want to equip is Radagon Sword Seal, so that we can wield the bow. Because right now we don't have the dex. And we won't level up till the end of the setup. So we kind of follow this line for a couple of reasons. One, we want to just a little bit of efficiency thing. Run by this door here, so that it opens. Because we got to go down there at the end of setup to get square off. You want to grab some of these golden sunflowers, because we're going to use them to make holy pots. And this is the best place to grab a bunch. There's a ton here, way more than we need. And then right here, we have our 2 crystal tears. One that boosts our stamina, and then one that boosts the damage of charge attacks. I don't know if we'll use them on this, but not a bad idea to grab. So come over here, get off torrent, crouch down. This rune bear is asleep here, but these Trina's lilies right here. If you kind of follow this line, he won't wake up, because he'll only wake up if you kind of go behind him. So then grab those 2 and then run down here. There's a lot of different... I'm picking up stuff that we might not actually even use, because there's a lot of different options for doing some of this setup stuff that maybe I'll make some save states and show some alternatives. There's another mushroom right there. There's some guys in the bushes there, so just might be mindful of that. And now we're gonna go through Fort Height to get our other Dectus half. Don't really need to grab this grace here, but might as well. And if it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable and it makes things a little bit easier, not a ton, but if you make it night now, it does change how some of the enemies behave here. So you want to make sure to hug the right side here, because there's a ballista up there and it can hit you. I go to this rock here and then jump up this way. I've seen people do a lot of different ways. And then as we're going by here, let's kind of grab that golden seed there and then jump up that way. It'll take you a few times, I think, to get that jump down. And then there's a couple different enemies. Notice that I have the beast torch on my back because there are rats in here. So now we do a mighty shot to this guy, a mighty shot to this guy, and then we can run through. Thanks, Whitty. I appreciate that. So there's one more guy that'll pop up. He'll pop up as you get to kind of right there. You see that? And then you can mighty shot him as well. So then here, the knight up here drops Bloody Slash, was what we'll use to set up RTSR, Red Feather Branch Sword. I should probably use the Elden Ring terminology. What we're going to do is we're going to have our kukris out. We're going to have our bow out. We're going to crouch as we go by here. We're going to aim a kukri the wall over here and throw it. And that will attract him over there. So then you pull out your longsword, two-hand it, go behind him, charged R2 into square off R1, and then riposte. And that'll kill him every time. I've even had problems with messing that up. If you're a little slow, and you hit his shield, then you won't get that nice script there. But now we're good to go. And this is our other half of the Dectus Battalion. So now that we're here, now we can go to Gatefront, because we're going to go make our way down to Liurnia and pick up a few other things along the way. Here, since it is night now, we want it to be day. That's important for this part as we cross the bridge up here, so that the Knights Cavalry that will walk there during the night doesn't see us. Or he won't be there. So we kind of run right through here because this brings everybody. That guy blows his horn, and what you do is you jump over here and you go down here. Hey, X03. How's it going? And we'll want to get this item here. That is our Storm Stomp and Whetstone Knife. Storm Stomp, don't need it all, but the Whetstone Knife is very helpful. That's the item that allows us to change Ashes of War at Sites of Grace. You can go to either Round Table or EG, and also get it done there. But I kind of like the convenience of being able to do it, since I swap Ashes of War quite a bit. Make sure to grab that Grace there, because we're going to use it to go kill Patches later on. You make your way up here. This guy will probably see us, or this guy. It doesn't really matter. They can't really catch us. So we're going to go up to where that guy is up there on the hill. We're going to pick up a gold foul foot to give us a little bit of extra runes when we kill DTS or Draconic Tree Sentinel. I should use the full length. You can see right here, they're kind of guarding it. Just run by, grab it, jump down. Really no threat. And now we're going to make our way to Weeping. Another important reason to make it daytime is we're gonna just cross the bridge rather than do the skip with the Spirit Spring. I'm kind of going this way because I just know that there's mushrooms as we go along, and as I said, we can't get too many mushrooms. Then we're going to make our way down this way to the bridge here. So why it's important to daytime, if you run straight, there's a ballista at the end of the bridge. If you run straight at daytime, it will fire and it will always miss you, like that. And if you go to the left here, there's 3 smithing 1s, and right here is a stone sword key. So if you're doing a run again where you need a lot of stone sword keys, say you want to go to like Volcano Manor, or you want to go get like RKR or the smithing or the Somber 7 there, you'll want 2 you'll want 2 stone sword keys at least. We'll pick up a 3rd one for free later on. I run just straight through here because right here is a smithing 2. So we need to pick up, we're going to pick up 10 and we're going to buy 2 smithing 2s. And then we're going to talk to, I call this guy Cuck because he sells the kukris. You can see here, he sells infinite amounts of kukris. So he's a good friend of ours. So I usually just get 10. You see, this is where it's helpful that we got that golden rune 12. Because we're going to see, we have 12 already of the smithing 1s. We need to buy this smithing 2, and then we buy this crackpot. It's also a shield if you need it here, like a smaller shield, which is kind of nice. And then also another stone sword key. So I always just grab this grace in case we run out of kukris. We can always come back and buy more easily. Okay, now we are going off to Liurnia. So we're going to head back. We're going to start at Stormhill Shack. I like to pull out, I just like to have the beast torch out. There's a few more mushrooms right here. And thanks everybody for kind of just watching along as I'm not interacting as much with chat here. I like to stay to the left here because if it's at night, there are some bats that roam that area there. So I just have kind of gotten in the habit of going that way. Interact with this. Thanks, Woody. Yes. So this is the path that goes around Stormvale Castle. Allows us to go to Liurnia before defeating Godric. So there are some... A reason to have the beast torch out is that there are some wolves, or quite a few wolves as you go past here. You see the first group right here. Again, we're just run by. Hey, Diablo 2, how's it going? And another group of 4 there. How have you been, Diablo? Again, I kind of just... A lot of this routing I have is just to kind of pick up random things as I go along. So there's the mushroom. There's another mushroom. So how many do we have? We have 16 mushrooms already. And then we go in here. Because there is another... Oh, you've been lurking. Cool. I appreciate that. Another sacred tier there. So that will, again, increase the amount that our FP flask does. And then we go down here. We're going to stop at this grace down here, make it nighttime. And then also purchase our last smithing 2 from the merchant here. We're going to do a couple things here. So make it nighttime. We're going to craft our we're going to craft 5 holy pots and put them on our belt. Talk to this merchant. This merchant also sells quite a few smithing stones. You see 3 smithing 2s and 5 smithing 1s. So again, we could have just bought these later on. We just need to buy 1 of these now because we're going to pick up the other 9. The rest of the 9. So then get back on Torrent. Kind of go straight across the lake here. Because we're going to pick up the 2 Fingers Heirloom, which is the talisman that gives us +5 faith. And we're going to use that to do a... We're going to use it for buffing before we have Godric's Great Rune, and then we're going to use it to just help out our damage a little bit here. So you can jump through that little gap there, and then if you just ride on Torrent, this will break the planks that are there. And then it's right here in the chest. Then you just run back out. And then we're going to go to Raya next. I kind of take this line. It's just how I figured out. And then kind of head straight towards the castle there. Double pits to chest. There you go. Avoid those guys if you can. Kind of be vigilant through here because those guys kind of roam. We're heading to this little grotto here. What do you want to call it?
Hello, it's rather.
And we're gonna
was a
do the
cross
we're gonna
thug only
start
if
the
you
Raya quest line and do the first
what
part of it
a thug should please.
for the reason of going to Volcano
Thug,
Manor
please.
activates allows us to purchase um Assassin's Gambit. So put on your faith talisman right now because we're gonna kill the death bird as we go past here. So the death bird appears right here. And what we do is we jump on top of this rock here. And I'm going to try to get him to attack so you can kind of see. Let's see if he'll attack here. Got to watch for it. He's not going to do it. So you kind of wait till he becomes passive. So you see he's doing it now. So you kind of can just jump down, and then we're going to make sure you're hitting his head. Otherwise you won't do the damage needed with 5. Oh, there you go. And that gives us the red feather branch sword. What that does is when we're at low health, it gives us a 20% buff to our damage. So up there is the dexterity tier is right up there, but I don't think we're not going to use it on this one. So okay, now we'll switch back to this just to give us a little more health. You can take that off. We're not going to use any more holy pots. Talk to this guy. This guy sells the locket that Raya wants returned, or the necklace, whatever you want to call it. I just buy it. You can also kill him and take it, but he's an NPC and they are not fun to fight. So, okay, we have Raya's necklace. And we're going to go out this way for a couple of reasons. One, there's 3 Trina's lilies right there. Some more mushrooms. We're going to make our way to this little... what are these called? I called it a grotto earlier. I don't think that's the right word. We go in here, and there's 3 smithing 2s right there. And then we just port back to the shack we were just at. Gazebo. Thanks, Witty. Okay, and now we're gonna go right back to Ryan. Give her the necklace, and then she's going to move to Altus, where we will go talk to her again in a little bit. Don't know why I picked those up. Don't need it. We just head straight back where we came from. Talk to her again.
Thank you.
Give her the necklace.
I see you are very distant.
And sorry, I'm kind of going through the conversations pretty quick, but she gives you the Volcano Manor invitation, which is very helpful. Okay, so then you head straight out here. The markers I look for is I keep to the left of that guy on the horse and go through these runes and take the little teleporter right here. That's going to take us to the Raya Lucaria southern gate. So the first thing we do is we grab the Grace up here. Now we're going to grab a couple more things here in Liurnia. We go back down. First we're going to go right. And I like jumping off at this point and making sure that I land on this rock, because then you won't take fall damage. And even if you take a little bit, it's not enough to kill you. Then we head right for this gazebo. You want to be quick getting this one. These are more smithing 2s, and then jump straight out. Because these guys, the flowers will send the little glintstones, but they can't kind of get to you as long as you're moving pretty quick. Then we're going to head to this outcropping where Smarog is, but we are not going to fight him. We're just going to grab some stuff that's around. So I like to kind of just run up this rock here, and at this point jump off. That this guy has the Academy Glintstone key, which we'll use. And then I just go here and grab, there's more kukris right there. And then quickly port back before Smarog kind of wakes up. Now we're back at the southern gate. Now we're going to do one more thing before going through there. Kind of just follow this line, this path along here, run by this guy. And jump on these rooftops. You'll see there's a crab down there. Kind of aim at the building over there and throw a kukri. You'll see distracts him. And then just jump down. And then right here is the rest of our smithing tubes. And then quickly port back again before he can attack. So now we have 12 smithing 1s and 12 smithing 2s. And we have the key to get through here. We just go through here so we don't have to take the other way around. We should have enough sleep pots now for the run. If you needed more, there's another thing maybe I can add in later on. Don't need to even grab that grace because we're not coming back here. And then just straight through. Now we're going to make our way up to the Dectus lift. There are a couple enemies. As you can see up there a little bit on the right, there is a Knight's Cavalry that's out right now, so just kind of avoid that guy. Make your way over to this church. Bellum Church, I believe it's called. This is just kind of the safer route up through this way. Grab another sacred tier there. And then, as you can see, I almost always have the beast torch out for these running sections. Again, just kind of go up the left side here. And you're going to want to grab this item right here. But don't linger because of the mosquito. That's a rune arc. We're going to use that to activate Godric's Great Rune later on. There are a lot that you can get throughout the game, but that's just one that's right along the way that we go. And then just hop up those rocks like that, and then make your way up to the lift. What are we at? 39 minutes. It's not the speediest. But as you can see, this is going to be probably another about 20 minutes or so. Maybe actually a little bit more because we got to go do some more stuff that you wouldn't do on some of the other ones for the longsword. So take the Grand Lift of Dectus. About to go to Noble by this point. Look at you, Witty. Tom's almost done with a run. As you can see now, Raya is here. So she moved here. So we're not going to talk to her yet. Because we don't want... We can't have her move to Volcano Manor until we kill Bernal. So grab this Grace, because we'll use that for later. And now we're going to make our way up to the capital. Again, I like to go on the right side all the way up, and then we will attempt some witty trickery here as well. Maybe I should just do it without that so people can see. Yeah, I'll just do it the regular way. You can go to Manor but not join. I don't think I knew that. Okay, so apparently you can take her hand, but just don't join Manor yet, because we don't want Bernal to move. So just to avoid it, I just don't do it until later, until after I kill Bernal. So I'm going to show you what happens when you aggro the 3 sentinel duo up here, which is essentially you just run past, but you kind of keep an eye on them because they can follow you. So just right here, make your way in. And then just head straight for the door. These guys will see you and they will aggro, but they have a leash. Just run right through the middle. And I do like to pan the camera around because they should de-aggro, but they don't always. Okay, as you see, they both de-aggro now. So they are no longer a threat. Here there's 2 golden seeds. We activate this grace because we're gonna go grab a couple things then port back. We're gonna go up to the church up here and we're gonna grab a seal that we can use that is for, we use it for a couple of reasons. One, it's not too far out of the way. Second, it's free. And the other aspect of it that I really like is that it weighs nothing. It gives us 0 addition to our carry weight. And that's important for later. So you can see it's the Golden Order seal is what we want. And then port back to Outer Wall Phantom Tree. Because we're going to use a talisman in this run that boosts your damage at lower equip weight. And how it works out with the seal, the longsword, and the and then all of our talismans in the end, as well as the dagger that we'll use for Golden Vow. It gives us at a perfect amount of carry weight to get the full 15% buff. So that's why I really like grabbing the seal that doesn't weigh anything. There are a couple of them that you could grab, but that one's just the one I prefer to get. Now we're gonna make our way down here to get our smithing 2 bell bearing, which will give us the 12 threes and the 12 fours that we need to get to a plus 12 right at the beginning of the game. So also, again, you're going to want to get the sword out because we got to kill one enemy. So there's an invisible wall here. And what you do is you run in, drop down like right here. Then I like to crouch. I don't think it's totally necessary, and come around here. This is the guy that we're going to kill. We're going to sneak up, backstab him. 1 hit. Sometimes he'll drop Kukris. No, he dropped a saw that time. And then we pick this up. Here's our smithing stone bell bearing 2. And then just make it around this way because we can't pour it out yet. As soon as we get out of the cave, then we port back to Outer Wall Phantom Tree again. And now we're going to make our way up to DTS. Ooh, one thing I forgot to mention. Oh, I forgot to put this on. I like to put the foul foot on this extra quick bar right here for later. How was the DTS kill with Square Off? So it is great when you've like already leveled up. I want to be careful just a little bit of this guy. I don't think he's too big of a problem. But we're gonna cheese him off the cliff instead here for our initial runes. But so there's 2 more golden seeds there. Grab those. McFed's on our leveled run where we were actually fighting him. You can basically square off loop him because he only has 80 poise. Grab this just in case we mess up the DTS cheese. Just a little bit of a shorter run back. And then this is a golden rune 7. So go ahead and grab that. And I like to grab these as well because it's just more mushrooms. We make our way up the path here. We're going to take the right path kind of down. So we don't aggro these guys, or at least try not to, and avoid them as we jump up. So we come down this way. And I'm going to attempt to teach DTS cheese here. I am still fairly new to it, but I did it on my last successful hitless run, and we're going to be doing it going forward just because it's early game runes, quite a bit of them. It's not too difficult, and it's a boss we have to kill anyway, so might as well make it easy. So we come up here, take the spirit spring. You want to watch... We want to watch this archer because he can spot you and snipe you as you're jumping up there. And then we're going to come up about right here. So how we're going to do this is we're going to get DTS, or the Draconic Tree Sentinel, to go over to the cliff's edge, and then we're going to do 2 square offs to stagger him and then knock him off the cliff. What you have to do is you have your kukris out, you have your bow out, you have your longsword waiting as well. You walk up until he kind of spots you. You see he's turning his head, and he'll start kind of slowly walking over here. Then you kind of slowly walk away as well. Don't do it too slowly, or else you can start doing some attacks. But I like to go to about right here, and then I get on Torrent and go to the top of this rock. You see he's going to still walk over to where he kind of last saw us. And we're going to get ready to throw some kukris. First 2 aren't very precise. You just want to get him moving over to this rock over here. So there's the first one. Throw a second one. And then we like to aim right at this edge of the rock there. And you pull out your sword, come down here, and then crouch down and approach him. Lock on. And then he will jump, but he can't get away. You can see there, you can even do it with 2. And then, oops. I wasn't quick enough to get the foul foot off, unfortunately. That's all right. You tend to use Dino's spot for it, my feds? Yeah, that's another way. I'm a little scared of that because I can't see it. So I was a little slow, so we won't be getting quite as many levels as we would have at the beginning. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah, longsword square off is really good. Okay, so we got this for later. As you can see, we're blocked here because we need 2 good foul foot on the rock. That's a good point, Witty. That's actually maybe a better thing to do. So before, maybe what I should say, so before you even go up, as he's walking over, take the foul foot because that'll give you plenty of time. So we need 2 great runes to get into the capital. We don't have those yet, so we just grab the grace. And then we're going to go back down all the way to Fort Farroth. Yeah, longsword makes it a lot easier. So now we're back down at Fort Farroth. We're going to make it morning. You do not want to go this path during the day. So we're going to make our way down to Redmane Castle. So jump onto this spirit spring. We're going to jump up it too. So on top of this rock, there are some two smithing 7s, stone sword key, and a smithing 8. It's just less that we have to buy later. And the smithing 7s allow us to level up the longsword 1 extra time before we get the bell bearing. Again, you can kind of see I like kind of hugging cliff edges. as we're doing running sections because there tends to be fewer enemies as you go down here. So you run down here to, what is this one called? Church of the Plague. Grab another sacred tear. Jump down onto this. Make sure you do that because otherwise you can suffer a gravity death. There are a bunch of bats here. Just run by them. No problem at all. We're gonna jump up this mound here. And why we make it daytime is because at the bottom here at night is the Kaled Deathrite bird. And we do not want to face him. So you jump off kind of where that branch is. And then I'm heading for my point of reference is that branch right there in front of us. And you jump onto this mound. Then I jump down this way. And the only thing you really need to watch is that bird right there. So just kind of give it a little bit of a wide berth, but not too wide to go back in the middle. It's not too big of a threat. And then now that we've been to Altus, this is now active and will take us into Redmane Castle. So this is the last thing that we're going to do before we go level up ourselves and level up our weapon. We're going to grab this grace so we don't have to come back here later. I like to do kind of as much setup as I can at the beginning and then then everything else goes a lot faster later on as we kind of just go from boss to boss. So now we're going to go back over to the Twin Maidens here. Offer them the bell bearing, the Smithing Stone bell bearing 2 that we picked up. Now we're going to purchase 12 Smithing 3s and 12 Smithing 4. Now we're going to go see Hugh, I believe his name is. The blacksmith. Talk to him. Let's sell the runes we've picked up so far. And we're going to level our longsword up to plus 12. What ashes of war do we have? So I like putting the Golden Vow on the dagger, Bloody Slash on the curved sword, and that's all we have for now. Hey, Dracoth. So let's level up. We want 10 fate first, and then the rest into strength until we have right around 10,000. We want to keep about 10,000 runes for now. It's not tremendously important. Now we're going to add all the charges to our flask that we've picked up along the way and increase the replenishment of the flask. Then I like to do 2 healing flasks and 6. This is way overkill. We do not need this many, but they're kind of all along the way anyway, so. And then let's put in the strength tier and make this a little bit easier as we're going through. Since we're going to be using a heavy build on this for the longsword just to minimize the number of levels that we need to maximize our damage. And so to help that out a little bit, we'll also use the stamina tier just to make it a little bit easier. Some of the both Square Off and Storm Blade that we use on this weapon are can be very stamina demanding. Okay, so having a little bit of extra stamina. I even actually like leveling some stamina just to be safe, especially at the end of the run when we are going to be fighting both Horlu and the last two bosses of the run. It is nice to have a little bit of extra stamina. Okay, so we've leveled up ourselves, we've leveled up our weapon. Now we're gonna go get Assassin's Gambit. So we're gonna go back to War Master's shack. We're gonna do something fairly insulting. We're gonna buy the item that we're gonna use to then kill the guy who sells it to us. And I'm gonna show you the way the Lank found to kill this guy that makes it completely safe. There are a number of different ways. I don't normally do it this way during a run, but it is very safe and it's very repeatable. So we're gonna buy Stormblade. We're also gonna buy No Skill. We're gonna throw it on the torch just to make things a little bit easier. So now we've bought it. So since we got the Wet Blade earlier, we're going to put... You just make it standard because it just doesn't matter. Stormblade only scales with weapon level, so it doesn't matter if it's which one you use for now. It does make a little bit of a difference if you're up close and doing melee damage to it as well, because you can get double hits with both the projectile as well as the actual physical hitting of the weapon. And then put the No Skill on the torch. Just makes things a little bit easier. Okay, so we're gonna kill Bernal. So Lank found out that Bernal has a leash. So if you pull him so far, so what I do is I destroy these so it's a little bit easier. I come out here first and kill this guy with one hit so that he's not a threat to us. And normally I would, you can kind of stun lock him with Stormblade as well. But and that's what I normally do on these runs. But since we're kind of showing like what you can do, then let's show the safe way. So 2, now he's activated, and now you kind of run back. So you see he healed. Make sure he's coming out to you. So you only need to come to about right here where this tree is, and he doesn't want to come any further. And now what we can do is just kill him like this. He might do his ranged attack, but you can just dodge that. But he's not going to chase after you any further. Okay, and then he drops his item. So Bernal's Bell Bearing is what we're going to turn in to get Assassin's Gambit. If you don't kill him here, he moves to Volcano Manor, and you can no longer... You would have to defeat Rykard first before you can get Assassin's Gambit. So now we're going to go to Volcano Manor. So let's go back to Altus Plateau. Wind slash attacks. Yeah, so it's called Vacuum Slice is the ability, and it's like a giant wind slash attack. So you need to just be mindful of that if he tries to do it. So now we can take Raya's hand
I hereby take my hand.
to Volcano Manor.
Give me your hand. I will pray.
And then we just have 3 more things to do, and then setup is complete. I believe 3. So now we're in Volcano Manor. Let's talk to this lady.
I am Tani Ryas, a warrior.
You want to join Volcano Manor because then we can buy...
Now you the drawing room, but be
Um,
sure. The drawing
there we
room
go.
is through the
Now we can buy Assassin's Gambit. And what Assassin's Gambit does is it both makes us harder to see, like it reduces our visibility, and it also silences our footsteps. And it is a massive game changer for hitless runs. Makes running sections so much easier. So we turn in the Bell Bearing now, go to the Bell Bearing, and then buy Assassin's Gambit. See, it's 6,500. That's why I wanted to make sure we saved some runes. We we could buy it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go to back to Rot View Balcony, and we're going to go get Flame Grant Me Strength. So I like to equip Assassin's Gambit now. So go back to your Ashes of War, go to the Rapier, and then put on Gambit. And then go ahead and equip it. And you can also just throw on your seal, because that's where it's going to be later. And see, now we can have our torch with the no skill on the torch. We can have the torch out, and we can use the Ash of War for whatever weapons in our other hand. So now we're going to make our way down to here to Fort Gale. This is a pretty safe line, especially now that we have Gambit. You come up here, this is a bit of a big drop, so make sure you land on the rock. And now we're going to go around the side. What I like to do is I like to jump off here, use Gambit again, and then again just kind of hug the right cliff edge. These guys just won't see you as long as you do it this way. And they're not really the problem. The problem is this guy who has the guy up there with the bow has rain of arrows, and they can hit you from a mile away. So I just kind of avoid him the best as possible. Just kind of jump around. And then you don't actually need to Gambit here and crouch. You can do one or the other. But I like to do both because I'm a fraidy cat. Go behind these guys. Grab this item. And now we have our 2 buffs. We have our weapon leveled up. We need one more Ash. We need now to get the square off Ash of War. And that is downstairs in Siofra. We got a bit of an elevator ride and then a bit of a running section, and then we will from there go and kill Patches. Now we can just chill for a second. No, nothing we can do in this part. I think, unless we. Sometimes if I'm just riding an elevator, I like to pop runes, but we don't have any, so. Let's see what else we can discuss. So Flame Grant Me Strength provides a 20% buff to your damage, your melee damage, and it also has the added benefit of increasing your stamina recovery. So it's actually really, really nice to have for both those reasons. And then Golden Vow, which we have put on the dagger, that provides us a 11.5% buff to all of our damage. So what's the math here? So between Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, RTSR, or Red Feather Branch Sword, Blue Dancer, and we'll also pick up Warrior Jar Shard. That's what? That's 20 plus 15, 35, 45, 65. So it's almost a 77% increase in our damage with the talismans and the buffs that we pick up. So it's huge. A huge increase in the damage we do. Not to mention our levels or anything like that. That's just 77%. 76.5%. So I grabbed some more golden runes along the way, keeping Gambit up as we go along. There's a crab there, so avoid that. It makes you feel a little bit safer. You can dismount up here and re-gambit because there are some of the little electricity balls. We're going to head to the little portal there. That's going to take us like right to where Square Off is. Sorry, one second. Okay. So this is the beetle that has it. You want to be a little careful because for a hitless run, it can ricochet off of like some of these rocks here if you're just standing and stagger you, which is considered a hit. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so we have Square Off now. Last thing we need before we go fight Margit is we're going to pick up Margit's Shackle. So Gambit, we're going to go kind of go around this guy just for safety purposes. You can make with Gambit, you can take a more direct line to where we're going to right now. But just for safety, we can just go this way. So there is an NPC that's going to invade us. But we're going to despawn it. Oops. Don't need to get off the horse. You kind of come over here, drop down here. Won't die. And we're going to run out here. We're going to get invaded by Nereus. What you do is you kind of just walk straight back until the invaded phrase comes up. And then you just run until it says return to their world. We do not want to fight any NPCs on this run. Now we're going to go down here. You know what I forgot to do? So what you'll... It doesn't really matter. We can use Stormblade because we're just going to backstab. I'm not great at this fight. I don't get Margit Shackle anymore, so I don't fight patches anymore. Just Gambit and then kind of hug this wall. Those guys won't see you. Enter this room. What you normally want to do for Nereus is he does kind of one attack that we're looking for. It's where he like sprays a mist, and when he does that, we're going to run around behind him and backstab him. Everything else we're going to avoid. If you like, and maybe it's advisable starting off, is destroy everything in this room, because you can get stuck on like everything here. So just for showing purposes, just going to go ahead and destroy all that. And he activates when you open this chest. So we're going to kind of run around and avoid him until he does the mist attack, and then we're going to run behind him and backstab him.
The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin.
So right here. Oops, I didn't get it there. He did it again, but I wasn't ready for it, so... Oh, he did it 3 times in a row? Wow. There we go. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of patches. He's not to be taken lightly, but you kind of just run around, just kind of wait again. Okay, so he was really nice to us. So now he's going to say, wait, please, and beg for his life. But we are not going to listen, because we need what he's doing. So you need to kill him afterwards. You can't let him just despawn. Or just, you can't let him live. Because we need his bell bearing right now, not later. Okay, so we have his bell bearing. Now we go back to round table for our last thing. Look, we have 5,000. We have 6,000 runes left, which is a perfect amount because it costs 5. So offer the bell bearing, and then buy Margit Shack. I guess we can show Margit. We can show Margit. We can just like kind of show the first boss fight too. Go back over here because we picked up some runes. So sell these. Now we have an extra 3 grand. And let's get our final prep for Margit. Let's see if we can't even do another level. That's fine. Does not matter. Equip flame grant me strength. We have that set up. We want square off for this first fight. Just do normal. We're gonna make it. We're gonna pick up the wet blade later. That'll make it heavy. And now we go to Stormhill Shack, and let's go up and we'll do the Margit fight just to show it, kind of show what all that setup allows us to do for the first fight. So we make your way up here. Again, as I always love doing, is just kind of hugging the kind of the edges. And jump up here. With Gambit, they shouldn't see you. You should be okay. Make your way up here. You can always give it a quick look back. This guy sometimes can see you. Not usually with Gambit, so you should be okay. And then we're good to go. So let's show what we have to go off of. So now we need to set up our TSR. So we put Bloody Slash on the scimitar for this purpose. Bloody Slash cuts our health. Allows us to get down to that range of low health that gives us the buff. Should be one more. You can see there we now have it. Put the longsword back on. We should probably use the longsword. There we go. So now we have Golden Vow. We have Flame Grant Me Strength. We can't wield Flame Grant Me Strength yet because it requires 15 faith. So that's another reason we grabbed the Faith Talisman, because we're going to swap talismans after we buff here. So Margit, we're a little bit lower level than what I would be in my like normal run that I would have done. But what it should be is we run in, we shackle, we do 5 R1s. Then he gets up, we shackle again, we do 2 square offs. That'll stagger him, and then we do a riposte, and he should be dead at that point, without ever being able to get an attack off. So we're going to use our flask. We're going to buff with Golden Vow. We're going to buff with Flame Grant Me Strength. We're going to drink. After we drink, we're going to swap to Red Feather Branch Sword. Get out our shackle and our longsword, and we're ready to go. You just run up to him. Shackle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another one. 1 square off. 2 square offs. Riposte. And he's dead. Now we have an extra talisman pouch. With that, so that's kind of how you can set up a hitless run there. It works with just about any, as I said, it works with just about any smithing stone weapon. This route, somber stone weapon, we can maybe do one of those in the future. It's a little bit more involved if you want to get to a +9 at the beginning, versus you can either get to a +6 fairly easily, or like +5, +6, or +9, depending on who you want to, how far in you want to get. But with that, I'll save this as like a tutorial run, I guess. And then 1 second, sorry. So that we can maybe pick this up at another time if needed. But yeah, so that's basically it. So how long did that take us? I mean, we were obviously talking quite a bit more in depth. An hour 14. The rest of the run would probably be about an hour and a half from here. And so it's a pretty good route, and it gets more interesting as we go because we do a lot of bosses in quick succession from here on out. But with that, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm glad to help, and if not, we will maybe we'll pick this up at another time with the next group of bosses, maybe.